And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Please stop using that phrase and talk about, because you don't understand what you're saying. You're saying about yourself that, hey, that's a terrible thing to be. It's not a terrible thing to be. That's why we fought.
All right, everyone, get ready. The View is crashing fast, barely holding itself together right now. Too late, that's the sharp, icy reply Karoline Leavitt gave. The View's desperate on-air request to stop her $800 million lawsuit. And if you assumed this legal drama was dying down, it's not. Well, Whoopi Joy and Sunny try acting friendly on camera. Karoline isn't stepping back, she's going harder, and for ABC, the timing is awful. Just a few weeks ago, they mocked her, dismissed the case as some loud conservative stunt, but now, they're begging for peace. Under the intense spotlight of live TV, Karoline's message is loud and clear, too late, and as things spiral at ABC behind the scenes, it's becoming more chaotic by the second. But before we break down the network drama and growing panic, hit that like button, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe for the stories big media hopes you'll miss. Subscribed. Perfect. Let's get into it.
Karoline Leavitt is the press secretary at the White House, doing a great job. Such a great job that the ladies of The View feel the green monster coming upon them. They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator.
And this wasn't just some normal episode of The View. It was the start of a major storm, and none of the hosts saw it coming. When Karoline Leavitt revealed her $800 million defamation case, the set filled with smug grins and fake laughter. They didn't take her seriously. They didn't even stop to think about the outcome. Joy Behar, always ready with a joke, treated the lawsuit like a failed skit. "It's just another PR stunt," she said with a smirk. Another conservative looking for attention. Whoopi, chilling in her usual seat, rolled her eyes. "We've had worse," she muttered. "It'll fade by next week." And Sunny Hostin, the show's legal voice, gave a sure smile. "This case won't stand, it's going nowhere. It'll get tossed out quickly." They all laughed. The crowd laughed too. Just another segment, another guest, another day at work, but none of them knew Karoline wasn't faking it. She wasn't chasing fame or media buzz. She had real proof, real plans, and a silent legal team working hard behind the scenes. Her lawyers weren't just watching the live clips, they were reviewing old shows, notes, staff chats, and raw scripts. Every line, every second. Karoline's approach was calm. Don't talk, just collect. And while The View laughed for millions, ABC's legal team started panicking. Producers got emails asking if they remembered old talks. Editors were told to find uncut tapes. Legal staff were checking old drives and reading old messages because Karoline's claim wasn't some mistake or twist of words. It was deep character, damage not random, not innocent but a setup, planned by the very people now calling her dramatic.
The fact that his bond... Hold on. Sir. I have to stop you with the camera, as I can see you. So do me a favor, don't pull it out again.
Then came the shocker. Private emails from The View's own Slack channel got leaked. One message said, Joy should push her hard on the youth topic to throw her off fast. Another note planned, cut to the audience when she stumbled, keeps people watching. A scribbled line in a producer's notebook said it all. Let her mess up herself, just ask about Trump, she unravel. This wasn't just about what was said on air. It was about what happened before filming even began. Now, the laughs that once echoed in homes across America were playing back in silent courtrooms, law offices, and quiet media strategy rooms. Karoline didn't yell. She didn't rant. She didn't post wild tweets or drop cryptic hints. She didn't have to. Instead, she gave the facts to her legal team and stepped back. No drama, no headlines, no attention-seeking, just solid evidence. And as the network braced for what was coming, the legal process she kicked off moved forward with calm but powerful force.
Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
Because when you've got facts on your side, you don't need to scream, just stay patient. That's exactly what Karoline did. As the days went by, the vibe at ABC changed fast. Their early pride turned into worry, then straight-up fear. First, the meetings were relaxed. We've had worse. One executive joked on Monday's Zoom call, "This'll blow over like always." But by Thursday, things got serious. Non-stop emergency calls. Big shot lawyers were flown in. Crisis teams, were hired, vacations were cut short, and staff were told to gather every document. PR was now tracking public opinion every hour. What began as a lawsuit had become a wildfire. And here's the twist. Karoline's team hadn't even started Discovery yet. That's when things really fell apart. Discovery meant both sides had to hand over every bit of proof, no skipping. That meant messages between producers and hosts, unedited video clips, segment prep files, staff complaints, and even past warnings about show behavior. And yes, there were warnings. One leaked internal email from 6 months ago said it clearly. I'm worried these interviews with young conservative guests seem too hostile, maybe even targeted. Another message from HR added, there's a pattern of building tension on purpose and clear, if it's from editors or personal opinions.
Mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should...
These weren't just random notes, they were warnings, and they got ignored until reality hit hard. Fear spread fast through the company at every level. Interns who once brought coffee during meetings were now being questioned about what they remembered. Young producers started quietly calling lawyers. Some workers deleted messages. Others rushed to clean old group chats. Meanwhile, Karoline's team said nothing. No media blasts. No bold interviews. No strange social posts. Just total silence. Cold, careful, and fully in control. The kind of silence that doesn't ask for fame, it warns of something deeper. It was chilling. One ABC executive, visibly rattled, allegedly whispered to a coworker, "It feels like she's already won. We're just waiting for the final blow."
You do know that you're walking into hostile territory, right?
Certainly do. And look, I think I'm well prepared for that. And I'm incredibly honored that President Trump has instilled confidence in me to speak on his behalf behind the White House podium. It's been an honor to have a front row seat to the greatest political comeback in history. And as you mentioned in your monologue, Sean, President Trump is putting together a brilliant cabinet of fantastic America First fighters, from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who are going to cut the waste out of our federal bureaucracy, to Susie Wiles, who is going to serve as the first female chief of staff in history. Take that, Mark Cuban, to Tom Homan. No one better to secure the border.
The crisis team kept asking for answers. The top brass kept dodging no. One had good news. Every day brought a new problem, and every hour came with another leak. Legal mentioned settling quietly, but PR pushed back, saying it would look like guilt, and what if Karoline refused? This wasn't just a legal case anymore. It had turned into a war, and the network was losing fast. By the time the hosts got the full picture, it was too late. They had mocked Karoline on screen and dismissed her in private. Now they were watching everything fall apart. Whoopi Goldberg was livid. She didn't stroll into the meeting. She stormed in, fresh off set, hair half done, makeup on, towel still in hand. She didn't sit, she exploded. "We're actually thinking of cutting a deal with her." Execs scrambled, trying to explain the messages, the videos, and the terrifying truths that one producer's mistake could turn this into a media disaster. But Whoopi wasn't buying it. "You're making her look like a hero," she snapped. "If Twitter's bad now, wait till people hear we paid her." Joy Behar cut in. "We built this show," she said sharply. "We carried this network through elections and chaos, and now we cave over one lawsuit." Silence. All eyes turned to Sunny Hostin, the legal voice, the fixer, the one who always had a plan. She didn't shout. She didn't even look up. She slowly slid the lawsuit papers back across the table and whispered, "She's got enough to take this to trial. If this leaks, it's not just on us, it hits the whole network." Whoopi's eyes narrowed. "You think we should apologize?" Sunny didn't answer. She didn't have to. Deep down, they all knew it might be the only move left. And that was the scariest truth of all.
There's too much BS floating out there, and now it's out of our hands. There's no way to control it, so now they're saying they're going to control it. I want to see what they're going to do.
When the cameras came on that morning, something felt deeply off. The View set looked the same, bright lights, same hosts, but the vibe had shifted. No jokes, no teasing, just a heavy quiet, thick like fog. Long, tense pauses took over, where chatter once lived. Whoopi sat still, her hands locked in front of her, her usual smirkin. She looked into the camera, took a slow breath, and said softly, Things have gone too far. Maybe we need to pause. That alone shocked fans. Then came Joy B, her usually quick to joke, speaking in a voice that didn't sound like hers. It shook a little, full of something new. Doubt. Why does it have to reach this point? She asked. Can't we just talk? For real, for real. For once, Joy didn't reach for humor. She didn't even try. Sunny leaned forward, speaking gently but firmly, eyes locked on the camera like it was her last shot. Karoline, if you're watching, maybe there's a better way. 3 hosts, no script, no jokes, no filters, just a shaky, honest try to reach across the wreckage and stop the spiral. It didn't feel like control. It felt like giving in.
Pretends to be a champion of women until they find one who is a conservative. Once that happens, they love nothing more than tearing down women with the most petty and vacuous of insults.
The jokes were gone. The mocking was gone too. In its place, pure desperation. But Karoline didn't flinch. She didn't post online. She didn't call a press event. She didn't even hint at anything. Her team said just one sharp sentence. Oh, we are moving forward as planned. That was it, and the message landed hard. This wasn't about talking. This wasn't about finding middle ground. It was about facing consequences. Karoline had waited, watched, and gathered. Now, while The View rushed to fix its image, she stayed quiet, letting their collapse do all the talking. The hosts tried to act softer, but viewers saw right through it. That wasn't peace, it was panic. And America noticed the second the episode aired. Social media exploded. Show clips spread like wildfire, faster than anything The View had posted in ages. Side-by-side videos filled the timeline. The hosts mocking Karoline last week, now pleading for kindness. One viral tweet hit hard. If you weren't guilty, you wouldn't be begging. Another read, that's not humility, it's fear. Hashtags blew up. Hashtag Karoline was right. Hashtag View Meltdown. Hashtag Media Accountability. TikTok users broke down the vibe change, frame by frame. YouTubers made 30-minute videos analyzing Whoopi's face, Joy's stiff body language, Sunny's exact words. Meme pages went wild. One meme showed Whoopi beside a sinking ship. Captain goes down with The View. Another had Joy clutching legal files when the roast session turns into a court case. It wasn't just funny, it was savage. Inside ABC, the breakdown was real. Execs were now meeting twice daily. Sponsors were quietly leaving deals. Some employees were already updating their resumes. Leaked emails revealed urgent threads with subject lines like reputation, crisis escalation, and contingency planning. Some leaders mentioned a full rebrand. Others whispered what once felt impossible. Maybe it's time to end the show. Because this wasn't just a legal mess anymore. It had become a brand collapse. A trust crisis. A reckoning. And they were right. The damage wasn't just legal, it was emotional, cultural, and historic.
Leavitt appears to be a fierce operator, but she's also 27 and arguably quite glamorous. So of course, the kind and progressive voices at The View reacted to her appointment like this.
All right. What'd she say?
She basically said that they were going to give
Oh,
unqualified
God, how boring.
unqualified
Can they get
people
somebody there?
jobs.
Not so
Behind the
tedious.
Table podcast needs to apply for White House credentials.
They'd love having Joy in that room.
I got a question.
So wait a second. So in other words, instead of Bob Woodward, they want Kim Kardashian? What? I don't get it.
The View had always promoted itself as the bold voice of daytime honesty, a space for real talk, debate, and truth. But now, audiences were seeing something different. They were seeing behind the scenes, the practiced lines, the staged drama, the mess that wasn't real but planned. And the worst part, the bullying carefully disguised as friendly teasing.
And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
And Karoline, she wasn't stepping back, wasn't asking for sympathy, and she wasn't chasing attention either. She stood steady, calm, direct, and determined. This wasn't just about money anymore, it was about doing what's right. About correcting the record. And millions across America were watching her do it one quiet, focused move at a time.
Has gone woke and now they have gone broke. They have their lowest approval ratings ever, and they are rallying around two of the most far-left leaders in their party, AOC and Jasmine Crockett. So that tells you the current state of the Democrat Party.
What's coming next could change the rules for talk shows. media stars, and how far networks can go before someone finally pushes back because Karoline didn't back off. She stood firm, fought hard, and the storm she started is far from over. Karoline Leavitt didn't just file a lawsuit, she made media history. And something tells us this is only the beginning. Let's be real, most lawsuits flash in headlines, make a little noise, drop a quote or two, then vanish. But not this one. This case won't go away because it's not just legal drama, it's Karoline Leavitt, a rising conservative voice, going face to face with one of the biggest names in daytime TV, The View. And now, it's spinning into something way larger than anyone expected. Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts thought Karoline would crack. They believed the pressure, attention, and chaos would scare her into settling, walking away quietly, letting the show move on. But Karoline didn't just say no, she answered with 6 cold words that hit like a threat. We are moving forward as planned. Now Whoopi, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin are scrambling. Damage control is in full swing. Legal teams are joining, emergency calls at all hours, and the internet is on fire, filled with reactions, receipts, and a growing wave of support that's only picking up speed.
How do you think voters are going to react when they see something like that on TV?
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
Many believed Karoline would take the simple path, accept a quiet deal, take a check, and call it a win. But Karoline Leavitt wasn't looking for shortcuts. Her team released a clear and bold message. This lawsuit isn't for about values. We're not backing off. We're not settling. We're going forward. And this time, it wasn't just talk. Sources close to the case revealed her team had expanded the investigation. This wasn't about one clip anymore. It had grown. They were reviewing full seasons of The View, tracking patterns of bias, logging attacks on conservative guests, interviewing past producers, checking social media posts, and even reviewing hot mic comments caught behind the scenes. The scope was growing fast. What they were building wasn't just a lawsuit. It was a push for media responsibility, a full-on movement. And Karoline wasn't in this for fame or payback. She stood firm to send one clear message to the media. There are consequences. This wasn't just about her, it was for every guest ever laughed at, silenced, ignored, or mocked on national TV. With each day, her message grew louder. I'm not stepping back. And now, more people were siding with her. As Karoline digs deeper, ABC begins to fall apart. Insiders say the pressure inside the network is at a breaking point. Executives are blaming each other, departments are clashing, and producers are being pulled into legal meetings. Pressure is rising. Advertisers have started leaving future deals, and some big-name sponsors are now in serious talks to stop promoting The View until the lawsuit is done. Then came a leaked internal email that rocked the industry. The brand is compromised. This isn't just PR anymore, it's a total credibility crisis. That one line spread fast and sparked major questions. Will ABC cancel The View? Will the cast be replaced? Can the show win back trust? No one knows yet, but behind the scenes, executives are already planning for disaster. They're preparing backup shows, redesigning formats, and even considering a full rebrand. Because here's the truth. Karoline didn't just sue, she knocked over the first domino in a chain reaction that could bring down one of the most famous talk shows ever made. And she's not slowing down. With every passing day, her support grows. And every hour, The View loses more of its audience's trust. This might not end in court or with a payout. It could change how TV handles guests, staff, and viewers. Karoline stood up and said, "That's enough." And now the whole world is watching. But we want to hear from you. Should Karoline keep pushing forward? Did The View go too far? Is it finally time talk show hosts face real accountability for what's said on air? Share your thoughts in the comments, we're reading them all. If you stand for media fairness, hit that like button. And subscribe to stay updated as this case unfolds. Because this isn't done yet. Karoline Leavitt didn't just file a lawsuit. She started a movement, and it looks like the storm is only